All right, join us now on Just Your Opinion Man is a former Golden State Warrior, 28-year radio veteran on KNBR, now a YouTube host. Been a basketball analyst for NBC and ESPN, star of Like Mike, lover of beer and animals, but you may know him best as Fabian. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tolbert. Tom, what's shaking?
What's happening? I'm trying to get this stupid mic going here. It's or this camera, so I'm like at least somewhat close to centered up.
No,
that looks okay.
What is this like now when you have to set up your YouTubes now?
Horse shit.
Yeah, I figured.
No, it's not that hard. I just Ogden and Max come and set it over. Those are the two guys that I'm working with. You know Daniel really well.
Of course.
Who is my producer at KNBR, and I know you're good friends with him. And then Max, I met through Daniel, who does all the video stuff. So they come over when we're doing the outside shows, like we have guests and all that, because I get lost doing that. But other than that, we're just remembering where everything's plugged in. If I can remember everything's plugged in, keep it plugged in for as long as possible. It's kind of like when somebody helps me with my tie. I just leave the knot there for years and just like slide it down, slide it up, slide it down, slide it up. Yeah, and just try to get that to work. After a while, the knot doesn't look very good, and I have to have somebody redo it for me. But I'm all about where's it plugged in. If I plug it back in here, it should work. So far, it's been okay.
That's actually genius to keep the knot tied, because I just keep on going back to the same YouTube video that I've been watching for 15 years.
No, Steven, you're doing it wrong, man. Just leave the knot in.
Yeah.
It really cuts down. I mean, I think I've saved a good 48 seconds throughout the course of my life not having to tie a tie. And I tried it 6 months ago. I go, look, almost 60. Like, you know how people have bucket lists? Like, I should probably learn how to tie a tie. That should be my bucket list before I'm 60. So I got on YouTube. You can do everything on YouTube. I figure I could probably do spleen surgery on YouTube, but I still can't fucking tie a tie. I tried like 6 different ways too. It was like all these different ways. And you got the Windsor knot, the half Windsor. And I just couldn't do everything. It just came out looking like shit the entire time. Like you want it to be like kind of like a fist, like a big like knot up there.
Right.
And it's just limp. It just sucked. I was like, this fucking sucks. So I think I had Weston do it for me, and I just went with that.
Nice.
I should just go with a bolo tie or something.
Ooh,
I got a
bolo tie would be nice.
I got a weird, embarrassing little story, but we recently went to a wedding, and I could do like a half Windsor. I could just do the regular half Windsor. But my friends, or the friends at the wedding, were doing the double Windsor knot. I'm like, well, I got to learn how to do that. So I had my tie like on the floor, still from the wedding, and I had some free time. So I literally attempted to do a double Windsor knot like over a T-shirt because I was bored. And I ended up looking like a 4-year-old trying to get ready for like a school concert or something.
Yeah, big mistake, Steven.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm with you. It looks impressive though when it's done right. It looks good. Like it's something to aspire to. You're like, God, but I don't dress up that much. I mean, really, it's weddings and funerals. And you go to a funeral, they're dead anyway. What do they care?
Exactly.
They don't care what your tie looks like. I don't know why anybody else should care. It's like, look, the person we're celebrating is dead. They don't care about my tie. They don't care about much anymore. So why should you be concerned with my tie? You know, you're getting married. You're actually of the living. So, you know, I try to do what I can.
Now that reminds me of the great story you told with the late great Bill Walton when you were on one of your first broadcasts with him, and you were wearing like what you usually wear, like a flannel and shorts, and he was like, "Oh, Tom,
Tom, what are you doing?" It was actually a NBA league. It was a meeting, like a broadcasters meeting, and I didn't know it was going to be as big a deal as it was. I mean, I'm not that foolish to not wear something nice if I thought it was going to be a big presentation. I thought we were just meeting like in a boardroom or something, but you know, Commissioner Stern was going to be there, so I probably should have spruced it up a tad bit. I walk in, we're at the NBA store in New York, like all kinds of media there, you know, Brad Nessler and Bill Walton, who I was doing the games with. And then I think Doc was there, Danny Ainge was there because they did the TNT. They did the whole blowout thing. and they're all wearing suits, and I'm just wearing fucking jeans, like a t-shirt, and something Pearl Jam might wear fucking at a concert. It was just like this ratty green terry cloth sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I was like, oh, brother, oh, man. So everybody's kind of like looking at me like, and then Bill, when I knew I was in trouble, when Bill came to me, he goes, Tom, what are you doing? We all have to wear uniforms sometimes, Tom. All of us. I hate wearing this, but I have to wear it. And I said, yeah. So when Bill's saying that to you, you know you're messed up. So actually, Commissioner Stern was so upset that he made somebody go out and buy me something. So they bought me slacks, sports coat, and a sports shirt, and I put that on and at least look presentable. Wasn't the first time that it happened, by the way. Later on, when I was calling games, I was in Sacramento. And I must have left my pants at home. So all I had were these fleece pink flowered pants, like shorts.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they were just wild. So I go to the game and I have my sports coat on, my shirt, and these pink fleece pants that have flowers all over them. And they're just like, what? I go, I forgot my pants. So again, they had somebody run out to a store. What size do you wear? Buy me some slacks. And I put those slacks on. I was good to go. Maybe that's why they got rid of me. They're just like, we're tired of buying this guy clothes. You kidding me? This guy's wearing out our budget over here.
That's incredible.
I'm sure you knew like Bill Walton beforehand, before you guys worked, because I was actually going to ask you about that, about the NBA Finals and that broadcast in 2003. Yep. But was it just different working with NBA Finals broadcaster Bill Walton versus just the regular Bill Walton that goes to Grateful Dead concerts and wears tie-dye?
No, Bill was Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, and it happened by accident. We were working a Houston game, Houston Lakers. And I don't know why they put us together for some reason. Maybe they're just kind of mixing and matching and seeing what works. And it was, I don't know if you remember the, I guess, controversy, whatever you want to call it, when they asked Shaq about Yao. And he goes, next time you see Yao, tell him I said, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. I was like, I mean, I didn't take offense to it, but I didn't find it all that funny, to be honest with you. Like, Shaq's funny. That wasn't that funny.
Right.
But everybody made a huge deal out of it. And I said, look, ask Yao. If Yao makes a big deal out of it, then maybe we should all make a big deal out of it. And everybody knows that Shaq's a jokester. Like, Shaq wasn't doing it to be demeaning. Shaq wasn't doing it to be hurtful. Shaq was doing it to be funny. And anybody who tries to be funny, and I know this, sometimes you miss. You just miss the mark. You're just like, well, shit, that didn't work. And you just keep on moving. Not everything that you say that you try to be funny is going to hit. So I was defending him on the broadcast, and Bill was just crushing him on the broadcast. And that was my whole point. Like, you have to look at who Shaq is. Like, this isn't something that he meant to like he wasn't serious. He wasn't trying to hurt He wasn't trying to crack Chinese people. It was just something that Shaq thought would be funny to say. It wasn't. But Yao was the one that said, no big deal. Like, let's move on. And then, like, to me, that's good enough. When the guy it's directed at, or the girl it's directed at, whoever it may be, says, look, this is not that big a deal. And it really wasn't. And people, I think, when they actually hear that, they're taken aback. And I told people, I go, you think that's awful? Be in the locker room for a couple hours with us. Yeah. You'll hate us all. Like, nobody will have sponsors at the end of 2 hours in a locker room, because that's just the way guys talk. And I bet, like, if you go to WNBA locker rooms and other locker rooms where women are talking, like, you'd be like, holy shit. Like, it's wow. Like, people just don't expect it, because especially today, maybe not quite as much back then. Everybody's so polished. Everybody has their brands. Everybody doesn't want to trip over their own tongue. But in the locker room, it's a free-for-all. That's like your sanctuary. You can say whatever you want to say. And if the guys crack you and they rein you back in, it's like, okay, maybe I've crossed the line. I've gone a little bit too far. But to me, that was just like goofy locker room talk, and it didn't mean that much to me. But that's kind of what got it started. They're like, oh, these guys are pretty good together. They go back and they go forward, back and forth. And so, it was fun to work with him, though. I mean, I had a blast working with Bill.
So now that you're done with the radio gig, how's it been like transitioning to YouTube? Do you like it more? Is it, now that you could go in the backyard, talk to Steve Kerr or Marcus Thompson and, you know, have curse words? Do you like this
Yep.
format a lot better than radio?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt.
Yeah.
I like it way better than radio. Radio to me got to a point where it's like, okay, let's make sure we hit Giants, Niners, Warriors, Giants, Niners, Warriors, Giants,
Exactly.
Niners, and then, instead of just doing whatever you want to do and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And like I'd spend my time talking Warriors, obviously, because I work with the team, and I'm sure I'll talk a lot of Niners come Niners season. Giants I haven't talked about hardly at all this year because I've been too wrapped up in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I've talked more Stanley Cup playoffs probably than I have Giants. That would never fly on KNBR, and that's fine. You get the reasons why, but it just got to a point where after a while I was like, this is just boring to me. Like they want us to say that, what are we going to say the same thing over and over and over again? And I always used to tell them, I go, well, if you think that's great radio to just reintroduce the same topics and say it over and over and over again, I got an idea for you. Why don't you just can the first 20 minutes and fucking play it in the 5 o'clock hour? Just play it as is. I don't got to try to reinvent myself. I don't got to come up with some new goofy angle that fucking hit that draws people in just because I'm saying Giants. I could just say Giants for 10 straight minutes on the radio if that's what you want. So and I told them it bores me. And if I'm bored, the audience is bored. And to me, that was always the main thing. Like, we're not a sports show, we're an entertainment show. We entertain people. And if we're entertaining ourselves, then hopefully other people will be entertained. But if I'm boring myself, then why would somebody be entertained by me talking about something I'm not even entertained by? So yeah, getting a chance to do this, and look, I still do the same stuff basically. It's like football, baseball, basketball, a little bit of hockey that I get a chance to get into. But then I get to go off on tangents and do this and do that. So yeah, no, I do enjoy it.
Has Ogden been trying to inject Formula One talk into your program, or has
he has not done that yet? He has not done that. I may be. You know what? I think I'm past the window now. I think when you're close to 60 and you've never watched that stuff, you're not jumping in to like Formula One racing. Like I never got it. Remember when NASCAR was hot for like 2 seconds? It was like the number 2 sport in the country. It's like football and NASCAR. NASCAR was just fucking huge. Like everyone loved NASCAR. I was like, they would have us talk about it on the air every once in a while. Not us, but they'd have a guest come on. Like, so we got so-and-so. We got so-and-so. And I was like, all right. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's fucking, they go, and everybody's like, yeah, but if you're there, it's great. I'm like, yeah, but I'm fucking not there. I'm here. They're there. I'm here. Watching it on TV, I don't get it. And I don't begrudge anybody that does get it. That's great. If you love to watch it, 2 hours, 3 hours on a Sunday, perfect. That's your thing. It just was never my thing. And I tried to explain to people, like, because they go, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? And I go, I'm sorry, I don't like WNBA is hot. A lot of people want to talk WNBA right now. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, that seems to be a talking point on every single show. And I guarantee you, most of the shows that are talking about this talk about it because people, I think, are interested in it. They think people are interested in it, and then they watch a grand total of fucking 30 seconds of WNBA over the course of a month. They don't watch it; they just watch a clip of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. So I don't watch it, and everybody's always like, "Why don't you watch it? What are you, sexist?" Like, no, I'm just not interested. And plus, once I get done with the NBA, I'm on to baseball. Like, I'm very traditional in that sense. That's how I grew up. I played football during football season, basketball during basketball season, baseball during baseball season, and that's what I watch. Once the season ends, I'm done with that sport, and I want to move on to the next sport. So once the NBA playoffs are over, or once Stanley Cup playoffs are over, I'm on to baseball. I haven't watched, no one ever accuses me of being sexist when I say I don't watch the UFL because I don't give a fuck about the UFL. I'm done with the NFL once the Super Bowl's over. I don't want to watch your other league. Like, I don't care. Let's be honest. It's second-rate football.
Yep.
I watch basically the Premier League. Like, I don't want to watch the Premier League and then go down to fucking tier 4, right? Or I'm watching dudes run around, the fucking mismatched shorts and, just fucking like the construction worker or the fucking, the plumbers out there as your left winger. Like, I don't want to watch that. Like, I want to watch the best. So once I'm done, NBA is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Major League Baseball is the best. NHL is the best. NFL is the best at what they do. So once I'm done watching the best players do what they do, then I'm going to move on to more of the best players doing what they do. And if people want to make up reasons why I don't like a certain sport, then whatever. All I know is I like what I like, and that's the way I've always been. That's how I've always consumed my sports, and I would imagine that's the way I'll continue to consume my sports moving forward.
But Tom, I do remember at one point you were saying that you weren't really a big soccer fan, but you got into it. So I mean, like, you do get into stuff later on, though.
Well, I did because of COVID.
Okay,
because there was nothing else on.
Yeah,
there's literally nothing. 2 reasons I got into soccer. 1, there's nothing else on. 2, they started showing soccer from Bundesliga, Premier League, La Liga, and you're like, oh shit, this is actually good soccer. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Let me go back to what I said about the sports here. Those are the best in the world.
Right.
And the MLS is not the best in the world. Those are the best. So when you're watching the best, you're thinking, oh my God, what do we got? We got Liverpool versus Man City. I want to watch that game. That's some of the best players in the world. So I'm going to watch that. I remember the first game I watched, the Bundesliga was on. It was Bayern and Dortmund. Great game, great players. I think Holland was still at Dortmund at the time. So, if you're going to give me the best players, I'm going to watch. But that was kind of my entryway into watching soccer was COVID, because I think it was the first live sport that's in the UFC that came back. So I got into it, and then I realized, okay, this is different. It'd be like watching basketball over in the Canary Islands and going, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden on your TV comes an NBA game. You're like, oh shit, it's actually pretty good. I like basketball. I like watching basketball. So that was kind of my realization that when you show good soccer, it's like, okay. I'm kind of into it. Like, in the Champions League this week will be fun. What is it? Milan and PSG, I believe, are going to go at it. So that should be a fun matchup. And I love the Champions League. So that's what got me into it, though.
Yeah. I mean, also the accessibility to it. I mean, they didn't have as many games, nearly as many on NBC, and now they got them all over NBC Sports and ESPN. Yep. You bring up Major League Soccer too. It bothers me because I want to get into the earthquakes and I want to pay attention because they got Bruce Arena managing now, and it's looking like a different team. But then you got to go to Apple TV. Oh wait, it's not on Apple TV. You also got to buy Major League Soccer season pass.
Yeah,
it don't make any sense to me.
Yeah, they duped us with that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, get everything a la carte. Oh, that'll be great. Oh, except you're going to have to order, like, if you want a steak, you're like, can I order the steak a la carte? Yes, but you're only going to get the top half on this channel. The bottom half comes with this streaming service. And if you'd like condiments to go with it, that'll be on this streaming. You want any steak sauce? That'll be on this streaming service. Like, well, shit. I mean, everything's a la carte, like even the salt. I got to get salt. I got to order that, pay for it. I mean, to watch all the sports now, you literally have to have everything. The NFL's gone to Netflix. NBA is on Prime. So is NFL on Thursday Night Football. I just got rid of cable because I was like, it was funny. I did Xfinity for like 20 years. And there's nothing against Xfinity. They're great. But once my the package that they had for me as a spokesman or whatever you want to call it, I'm still not saying influencer. That's so fucking pathetic. But I did spots for them. They're like, they're really cool about it though. They gave me 6 months. So like, because of what you did and we appreciate it, we'll give you 6 months. And then after that, you're going to go back to the regular prices. And when they told me what that was, I was like, holy shit, people pay that for cable? You got to be kidding me. Yeah. So I made my son proud, and I go, let's go YouTube. Let's just do that. He goes, wow, now you're talking, Dad. Now you're getting it. So I got that, but so I think Prime had, so I got rid of the baseball package, but that's on Prime. But everything, right? Like everybody has their own thing, and the NFL has a bunch of things. You want a couple games here and there, make sure you get Peacock. You want your Christmas Day games, make sure you get Netflix. You want this? Make sure you got Thursday Night Football. Make sure you get Prime. So we're not saving any money doing it. It's just, I should have known from the get-go, like they were just duping us. Like, oh, we got them. Everybody thinks it's going to be a lot cheaper. It's really not that much cheaper.
No, it's a fucking scam because even bars can't show Apple TV if like a Giants game's on Apple TV on a Friday afternoon.
That's brutal.
Or Friday night. No, it's insane.
Yep.
So
it is insane. Yeah, and I forgot Apple TV. They have the Friday Night Baseball package. Yeah, it's just like it is. It's. I can't wait till every college football conference is going to have their own streaming service now. You want to watch SEC, go to Paramount. You want to watch the Big Ten, go to Peacock. You want to watch it's just, it's unbelievable, but that's the way of the world. Hopefully for that happens, I die. Or for that, all that happens, I die. I won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, by that time, the college football playoff is going to be like 20 teams at that point.
20 teams. Games are going to be on pay-per-view. It's going to be
pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I know. It's coming.
Yeah.
You brought up the Giants talk, and ever since Derek started working on KNBR, we've been putting more Giants conversation into this because he's actually paying attention, which is hilarious because he's just like, all right, Steven, who's going to be the 5th starter after spring training?
That's a great impression of me, Steven.
But I do want to ask you, as an Angels guy, in 2002, working for the sports leader, what was that experience like during the World Series and kind of being the guy on the other side of it?
Tom claims he was rooting for the Giants back then.
I was. Wow. Well, I wouldn't say rooting. It was a weird experience. Like I wanted to see the Giants win because of Kenny Lofton, who was my teammate at Arizona, and JT Snow, who I went to school with at Arizona. But I also wanted to see the Angels win. So I mean, I felt like I was winning and losing either way. Because when the Angels won, I wasn't upset. Well, I mean, I did have the Giants at 20-1 to win the World Series. So that kind of sucked. But I did crush it throughout the course of the playoffs. They won me enough money that I wasn't like too mad, but 20-1 would have been a nice hit. But that Angel team was really easy to like. Really easy to like. I mean, the way they hit and ran. I mean, I just love the way they played baseball. I mean, Troy Gloss was like their big like bopper in the middle, but then Darren Erdstad was a stud. Then you had Kennedy, and you had Fulmer, and you had Eckstein, and you had Napoli. I mean, they just had a bunch of dudes. I remember, I think at one point during that year, maybe it was the following year, but I think it was that year. And this is insane to think about, especially with the way baseball is played today. It was like July, whatever it was, maybe even early August, and the whole team was hitting over 300. I mean, just insane. Like I remember an inning they had against the Yankees where I think David Wells might have been on the mound. They had 9 hits in the inning. 9 hits. Like nobody gets 9 hits in an inning. Not then, certainly not now. And I don't think one of them was a home run, scored like 5 runs, 9 hits. And I just love the way they played. But the Giants are really fun to watch as well. I mean, I watched that team, and those were the 2 teams I watched on a nightly basis. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I was rooting against. Again, it was a weird feeling because I kind of wanted to see the Giants win just because of JT and Kenny. I wanted to see them win a World Series. But, I mean, I grew up an Angels fan. Always been an Angels fan. And to watch the Angels win a World Series and not be fully behind them kind of sucked. Gotta be honest. It's like, oh, man. But I wasn't mad. I wasn't like, oh no, the Angels won. So, but it was a weird feeling. I think I went to 4 games in that series, a couple down in Anaheim and a couple up here in the Bay. But yeah, no, it was a great series. It was a fun theory. And I think, look, if Rob Nen's arm would have been anywhere close to 100%, I think they win that series. But that thing was just hanging like a noodle. That thing was dangling. And when you're up 5-0 game 6, you think, okay, this is over, right? And you got F-Rod, and you got who was the other one? Tim Worrell, and then Nen. But they had a bad outing, and then Nen's arm wasn't what it was. So, but yeah, it was a weird feeling because I wasn't 100% behind either of them.
Gotcha.
But I wasn't 100%. And it was just weird. It was just weird.
Always an Angels fan, Tom? What about when the Dodgers changed their outfield and you switched?
No, infield.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a Dodger fan early on when they had Garvey, who was it? Garvey, Lopes, Russell, Say on the infield. And then Yeager and Ferguson were behind the plate. And the reason I was a Dodger fan, my grandpa took me to games, and he was a Dodger fan. So we went to the Dodger games and stuff. So, I mean, I was a Dodger, and I was still a Fernando fan. Like, I love Fernando. Fernando was great. Fernando Mania was amazing. So, I mean, I was probably a Dodger fan until I was like 13, 14, somewhere around there. And then they traded the infield. And then we started going, what happened is we started being able to drive. 15 and a half, 16. And Angel Stadium was just so much closer. So we'd always go to Angel Stadium. And I'd liked the Angels since 80. I'd watched the Angels as well. So I wasn't like I didn't know anything about the Angels. I knew a lot about the Angels. And in 1980, what was I, 15? So I probably transitioned at that point to being an Angel fan, 79, 80, although I was still rooting for the Dodgers against the Yankees. Like, I'll root against the Dodgers if it's anybody but the Yankees. Like last year, I wanted to see the Dodgers win. I wasn't rooting for them. I had pom-poms out because there's no way, right? You can't do that. But the Yankees are like, I root against, I'll take the devil over the Yankees. I don't care. I'll root for Satan. So there's just certain teams I will not root for. I don't care who they're playing. Cowboys, never. Yankees, never. Duke, never.
Celtics,
yep, never. Like, I'll root for the Lakers over the Celtics, and this is my my growing up in LA. I root for the Dodgers over the Yankees, and then I don't really have I don't know who the second one would be in football. Like, I'm trying to think of somebody comparable to the Cowboys, but I just love it when they eat shit. Like, I love it when the Cowboys but it's a weird feeling because I want the Cowboys to be good enough to where it matters and then have their dreams crushed. It's no fun when they're like 5-12, right? But you want them to be good and then fumble the snap on a PAT in Seattle where it's like, you just like ate it. Or Dak Prescott, trying to hand the ball back against the Niners. The game's over. We're done. You're like, too bad. So I love watching the Cowboys just get crushed. I don't know that I have a close second. Maybe Patriots, but that was all, now that the Patriots are back to being just a regular NFL team, I could care less about the Patriots. But when they had their run, obviously not a huge fan, but nobody else was. Philly, I'm not a fan of. But it's the Cowboys. So those are the teams that, like, when they're playing, sorry, I don't care who they play. I'm rooting for that other team.
No, I don't blame you because who wants to root for the Cowboys unless you're a fan? But it's clear the audience here is that you're a huge sports fan, and people have known that for 28 years. And I think you're very unique because you obviously played basketball, but you were never pigeonholed into being just the basketball guy. You could talk all three sports, all four sports, anything sports. You loved it. It didn't matter if you played in college or high school, but just because you played for the Golden State Warriors, you were in depth and talking about football and baseball. And I feel like today, a lot of former athletes if you played that sport, that's what you're going to talk about. You are focused on talking that sport. So do you think that media today kind of holds former athletes to talk about their specific sports and don't give them a chance to kind of grow kind of like the way you did?
That's a good question. I don't know. I know there's a lot of guys that are involved in sports that don't know other sports. Hell, they don't even know their own sport. They're just good at it. So I don't know how many guys are actual sports fans.
Yeah.
That played professional sports. So, but I think I don't know that they have the chance today because it's such a soundbite society that they just want clips of what you're saying and who you're talking to, and they're not gonna stick with you for a couple hours while you're talking about a different sport. And it was hard. Even myself, people said, stick to basketball. That's all you know is basketball. That's all you know is basketball. And I was like, sorry. I mean, I don't really care what you're saying. I'm going to talk about things that interest me. And I'm a huge baseball fan, football fan, college football fan, hockey fan over the last 30 years probably. So I'm going to talk about those things. Maybe some to a lesser extent than others, but you know, you can take my opinion for what it's worth. I don't really care, but I am going to talk about it. And it was funny to me that I'm sure I knew more than about 99.9% of the people that were chiming in back in the day, no matter what sport I was talking about. But I don't think they realized, like, oh, you play basketball, that's all you know. They didn't realize I spent my life like watching sports. And I played all the sports until high school, played baseball until I was a sophomore in high school, played football until high school. And I've always followed football my entire life. So, yeah, I mean, it didn't really, to me, it's just like, this is what I'm going to do. Do guys have a chance to do it nowadays? I'm not sure. You would think so. I mean, podcasts, you could talk about whatever you want to. So it's not that big a deal. And so, I don't know. It's a good question. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
We're going to let a frequent guest of the show in.
Oh, hell yeah. It's either going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be Brownie or Lou. Oh, it's looking like Lou.
You know she wants to be part of the show.
Damn right she does.
Come on.
There's Lou.
Yep, there's Lou.
So what's the animal count at right now? We got Lou the dog, Pip the cat, Brownie the bunny. What else we got?
And Kit the cat.
Kit the cat, that's right.
So we got Kit, Pip, Brownie, and Lulu. And Cute the hamster has expired. Yep. And Tiny the turtle has expired. So yeah, we put him out in the dug a hole, put them in the front yard, and if there's a heavy rain out there, they may resurface. I'm not sure how deep the hole is.
Wow.
It could be the Ramones Pet Cemetery come to life. I'm not sure. So we will see. But yeah, Lou's doing good. Lou is gonna be 10. Pip and Kid will be 8. And leave my beer alone. And as far as the rabbit, not really sure. We think the rabbit's 1. And we think she's a she, by the way. We're not really even.
Oh, okay.
We're not. Yeah, she has no dangling appendages. So we're thinking that she's a she, but I can't see a male slot either. So I'm not really sure like what's going on. So we think she's a she. Anyway, okay. We're not getting another rabbit to find out. Trust me.
We're not going to get the rabbit pronouns here.
No, we're not going to get that factory started. Because I was laying on the ground a couple of days ago. We're up in the room. And I let her out of her cage. And I didn't want to bring her outside because it was getting close to dark. And she's outside right now. We'll let her out she got out at 10 today. We'll take her back in at like 6. So she's out for like 8 hours, just running around the backyard, doing whatever she wants to do. I used to go out there occasionally and check to make sure there are no birds of prey out there. That's the last thing I want to see is Brownie flying off.
Yeah.
But I have not seen any hawks. I haven't seen any falcons or owls or anything out there. So she just goes and kicks around and does her own thing. She gets along with the cat and the dog, so they're all one big happy pet family. But it was getting close to dusk, so I'm like, I'll just let her out for a couple minutes. I didn't get a chance to let her out today. And I'm laying on the ground and I'm stretching. So I'm laying back and I got my arms up and I'm like stretching my back. And all of a sudden I feel something. I look over and she's humping my arm. I'm like, what in the hell? I was like, come on, Bunny, stop. Come on, Brownie. That's enough. That's enough. So I'd like hold my arms up like this so she could get my arm. And then it like hit me. I'm like, oh, she is a bunny. They say bunnies enjoy doing that kind of thing. Yeah. So wow. I was like, I got to keep an eye out on her. It's just a weird feel, like a little bunny bouncing up against your arms. Like,
I can imagine.
Yeah, I bet you can.
The last question though, it kind of made me realize, like with the WNBA, there's still, I think, some growing pains with how the media talks about it. You mentioned the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese thing. Like, I think it's pretty clear that ESPN talk shows don't really know how to talk WNBA or clearly haven't watched it in the past, so they can't like have a real opinion. At least some analysts. But with sports talk radio kind of on the rise in your playing days, did it take a while for sports talk radio hosts to kind of talk NBA in kind of a fluent, articulate way, or did it take a while for that to happen?
That's a great question because I didn't listen.
Yeah,
I didn't listen to sports talk radio when I was playing. I just listened to music. put in my Guns N' Roses or Metallica or AC/DC, and I'd be done with it. I don't know. I don't know how they talked about it. It'd be interesting to go back and listen to, just to see how they talked about it and how they covered it, because I wish I could answer that for you, but I have no idea how they covered it.
Favorite Metallica album?
Oh man. You know, it's funny you say that, because I'm so bad with albums, like in names of albums.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if this is the name of the album, but it's got all my favorite, I wouldn't say all my favorite songs, but a lot of my favorite songs. The Master of Puppets album?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it called Master of Puppets?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was, but I wasn't positive. But yeah, probably that one.
Yeah.
I like Battery. Battery's a great song.
Go
Sanitarium's a great song. Master of Puppets is a great song. And there's one more on there that I love. And God dang it, you guys are gonna make me look it up now, because I'm gonna be pissed that I can't remember what the Metallica song is. And I have it. Like, I know how much I like an artist just by going to my Google and seeing how many songs that I have of theirs. And I would say probably AC/DC or maybe Iron Maiden. Or no, Tool. Tool's definitely. I got like 22 Tool songs that I've downloaded, but I do have 19 Metallica songs. So it is Disposable Heroes. That's the one. Yeah. So I love Disposable Heroes, Sanitarium, which is Welcome Home, Master of Puppets, and Battery, and then Ride the Lightning, Fade to Black, Creeping Death. I mean, that's a great album too. I think that's Ride the Lightning album. Yeah. But yeah, I've seen them probably 3 times. I guess they're one of the few bands I've seen multiple times. I've seen them I've seen them 3. I think I've seen Tool 3. AC/DC I've seen 3. I think I've seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers a couple times. Oingo Boingo a few times. So but no, I'm a big Metallica fan.
Do you still have the AC/DC rag lying around?
Wore it on the show a couple days ago.
Nice.
Wore it on the day. I thought I threw it away. I was like, oh no, I didn't throw it away, did I? And then I was like looking through the closet. I go, oh, there it is. Let's bust this thing out.
You got to
the moths are getting ready to get rid of that thing too at some point.
So I want to talk a little Warriors with you, and you did a great job with Steve in the backyard. Listen to that interview. Awesome interview. I encourage everyone to listen to it. And you guys touched on Kuminga a little bit. And I mean, I've never seen anything like this divide a fan base. Like 10 years ago, me and Steven were talking about it, how everyone was just happy that the Warriors won a championship. Now it's kind of like politics. Either you're pro Kuminga or you're pro Kerr. And it divides the fan base into something that's fucking ridiculous. What do you make of the whole thing? And do you think it's fair that Steve gets all this blame, when honestly I think it's not just Steve making the call sometimes. He's the head coach, but a lot what goes on in that organization is run by Steph and Draymond, and I'm sure they have a say in who plays, who doesn't play, what fits the scheme and whatnot. So do you think it's fair that Steve is lumped in with this whole thing?
Well, look, Steve gets $17 million, so you know, that's what you get paid the big money for. There's a lot of guys that could draw X's and O's on a grease board and put guys in the right spot, but to be able to handle this, be able to handle a locker room, that's what you get paid the big money for. And winning championships, I mean, that's obviously goes without saying. I said a couple of weeks ago, it reminds me of Brandon Belt, the Belt Wars. Yeah, like you could bring up Brandon Belt and you'd have a show. You could bring up Jonathan Kuminga, you'd have a show. And either you're like, there's no gray area in this. Either you're pro Kuminga and Steve has ruined him, or you're pro Steve and Kuminga doesn't know how to play. And there's so much gray area in the middle there that, and I talked about it. Last week I talked about it. It was my final when they get the bar. Final. That was my final on Kuminga, hopefully for a while. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing about doing the podcast. I'm going to fucking talk about that guy every week. Like, hey, we should probably talk about Kuminga. No, we fucking shouldn't, because I'm tired of talking about him. I don't want to talk about him. I don't care that everybody wants to talk about him, okay? Hey, listen to the podcast. I did it last week. Go back and I feel the same exact way today as I did a week ago. And then when it's next week, I'll say I feel the same way I did 2 weeks ago. So just go watch it. I think he's a good player. He can be a really good player in a system that allows him to do what he does best, which is get the ball and attack, but he's not a ball mover. He's not a guy where he catches and makes a decision in 2 seconds, where it's pass, go, pass, kick it, pass, go set a screen. That's not who he is. I mean, you look at there's a reason he's played 20 plus minutes in 7 playoff games or 0-7 in those games.
Yeah.
Like that's not a massive sample size, but it kind of tells you something that like, he's a guy that can get points for you, not a rebounder and not a playmaker. And defensively, he can be good on the ball, and I think he can get better at it, but he's got to get a lot better off the ball. So if you're a team that needs someone to get you buckets and get to the rim, get you to the foul line, he can do that. Like, he could definitely do that for you. The Warriors don't necessarily need that guy, especially when they built their team around Steph. And it's ball movement, it's player movement, and it's always going to be Steph as the first option when he's on the court. It just is. So ultimately, I think it'd probably be better for him and the organization to go somewhere else. I think it'd be better for them, just cut the cord, move on. People get caught up on the 7th pick. It's like, that was a long time ago now. Who cares what pick he was? Either he fits or he doesn't fit, period. And I think you get some assets for him to help you win in the next couple of years, more than he's going to help you win in the next couple of years. And I think he'd be happier. I think he probably wants to go somewhere and say, hey, like, I want to be one of the guys. I want to be one of the guys they count on. I want to be one of the guys that gets 30 minutes a game. I want to be one of the guys that gets 18 shots a game. I want to be one of the guys that plays through my mistakes. And I don't blame him. Like, if I were him, I would want to too. Like, he's still going to get paid. He's still going to get good money regardless of where he goes. But sometimes you got to go try to be the man. Like, okay, go find out for yourself if you can be the man, and then we'll figure out where you are in the hierarchy of the NBA. But look, it just didn't work out for him, right? They got those draft picks. Wiseman didn't work. I don't think anybody blames them for drafting him. They needed a big guy. They did not want LaMelo Ball, and Anthony Edwards went number 1. You get Kuminga and you get Moody. And I thought Moody was really good this year until kind of he lost his confidence toward the end of the year in the playoffs. So, but with Kuminga, it just, yeah, I mean, no one wants to budge. No one wants, either he's terrible or he's great. There's no in the middle with a lot of these people. And that's where I am with him. I'm in the middle. I think it'd be better with a better team. I mean, I think it'd be better with a different team, excuse me. I don't think it's going to happen here. Do I think he could be a number 1 option for a team? Absolutely not. I think if he's your best player, you're not making the playoffs, at least not in the next few years. He to me, at his best, can be a number 2, more likely a number 3 option on a team. But look, he has a lot of things to work on. And I think a lot of it comes from that ignite where you don't play for a college coach. You don't learn fundamentals. You don't learn how to play basketball. Some guys have it, some guys don't. He clearly could have benefited from a guy like, let's say, he wasn't going to play for this guy, but my coach, Lute Olson, who has passed away. But it's fundamentals. Learn how to play the game. Learn how to think the game. See the game. Like, those type of things could certainly help you. And I'm not sure if he was on the same Ignite team, but Jalen Green for Houston, same thing. Learn how to play the game. Like, he's an explosive athlete, but do you want him to be your number 1 guy? Like, I don't think Houston would ever win if he was the number 1 guy, because he just doesn't know how to play the game like the way I think you need to know how to play the game. So, but here's the thing. I can say all this, and people that believe in Kuminga and think he can be the guy have already tuned me out, because you're not going to change their mind at this point.
Yeah.
I don't care how much experience I have, how many hours I've watched NBA, the fact that I played in the NBA, the fact that I've called NBA for years and years. Like, it doesn't resonate with them. It just doesn't resonate. So And I get it. That's just where it is. But for those people that think he's great or he's not great, and it has to be one or the other, trust me, it's in the middle somewhere.
As far as Steve, I mean, he said that he's on.
By the way, you can keep going. You can just keep rolling.
Okay,
we keep rolling with this thing. Yeah.
All right. He's.
I don't want to cut
Tom's
you short.
into it
because I know you have a fucking big piece of paper there that you're fucking itching to get to.
Oh, I got a million questions.
You haven't even fucking talked Purdy yet.
Do you really want me to bore you with Purdy stuff?
No, not really.
Okay, we're only doing fun stuff here, but real quick, I want to ask.
Okay. Damn.
So speaking of coaching, Steve said that he's on a year-to-year thing, and he'll see how long he's going to coach. And I'm not going to ask you that because I know you're asked that so many times about Steve's future. Everybody thinks that you're the Steve Kerr wrangler whisperer. But what do you think about the state of coaching in the NBA right now? Because we saw Taylor Jenkins get fired with 9 games left of the regular season. We saw Michael Malone get fired with 3 games left of the regular season. And the longest tenured coaches right now were your guy Pop, Steve. We'll see how long he wants to stay with the Warriors.
Probably Spoelstra.
And Spoelstra. And I don't think any owner is going to give those guys the longevity that those 3 guys got. And I just feel like with Michael Malone, who just won a fucking championship a couple years ago, if you're going to ice him, then I feel owners don't really value coaching anymore, and they want their superstars to kind of lead the way. Do you get the same impression?
Well, I get the impression that basketball is becoming a lot like baseball, where they want the front office to take a leading role in leading the team, and that the coach is going to be someone who, I don't want to say is given his marching orders, but has to be in collaboration with the front office. And the front office is going to have some say-so on what lineups you put out there, how the rotation is going to go. And, I mean, that would never happen with Steve. It would never happen with Pop, but he's stepping down. So really it's Spoelstra and Steve that are the 2 guys that I think are going to have, like, they're the old school managers. They're the Terry Francona, who came back this year, Bruce Bochy, Dusty Baker at a World Series with Houston. Like, I mean, all the guys that I grew up with, Tommy Lasorda, Whitey Herzog, Jim Leland, I go on and on. They ran the team, period. Now guys in baseball don't run the team. Like, the manager does not run the team anymore. And I think that's where we're going in basketball, where the coach doesn't run the team anymore. Like, I think Michael Malone, really the genesis of that was him and Calvin Booth, the GM, just like butting heads. That Calvin Booth wanted some of the younger guys to play, and Malone didn't think they're ready, and he wanted to win. So as a coach, when you want to win, and this is, people criticize Steve for, develop the younger players. It's like, well, fuck, I got to win. If I don't win, I'm going to get fired. So no, I'm going to play who I think is ready to play and who's going to help me win. And they're trying to win a championship, kind of like the Warriors were trying to win a championship. Like, oh, you gotta develop Wiseman, you gotta develop Kuminga, you gotta develop Moody. Like, no, you fucking don't. You gotta win a championship. That's what you owe 15 guys. That's what fans don't get. Like, you don't owe a player development. You owe the team the best chance to win if they're a team that's a championship team. If you're the Rockets, let's say 3 years ago, go ahead and play all your young guys. You're not winning anyway. Let's get them experience, get them out there and playing. But if you have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green on your team, you're going to go in there and say, hey, we got to develop these guys. No, you're not. You're going to lose a locker room. I mean, a coach isn't beholden to one player. He's responsible for 15, all of them. And if you're a team that's trying to win a championship, that's what you're going to do. And if you don't think the young guys are ready, you're not playing them. You're not going to develop them just for developmental sake. But go to Denver, same thing. Same thing. There's Pickens, I believe there was. I'm not sure. The kid out of Penn State. The reports were that Booth wanted to play him over Westbrook. And Malone's thinking, we're trying to win a championship here. Like, Westbrook's going to help me win. This guy's not going to help me win right now. So I want to play a guy that's going to help me win. That's where you got to have that collaboration and that coach, GM on the same page. Like, look, coach is trying to win now. GM's got to think 3-4 years down the road. How do you mesh those two? How do those come together? And like, okay, we want to win now, but we also want to be good 3-4 years from now. I don't know exactly how it works, but it used to be pretty clear. The GM would draft, coach would coach, period. And that's what it was. And I'm pretty sure that's the way it is at Golden State. Like, I've never explicitly asked Steve how much weight he wields over there. Like, if he said, no, we're not doing this, does he have enough weight to do that? I'll be honest, I don't think he cares that much.
Yeah.
I think Steve just wants to coach. He's told me before, he's like, yeah, you know what? You start getting involved in the GM and being all this kind of stuff. He goes, it never works out well. He goes, it's tough enough to do one job. He goes, let alone do another job. So yeah, I really don't want to do that. Sure, they ask him, they solicit his advice. Why wouldn't they? He's the head coach with 4 championships. But I don't know that he's ever, like, banged his fist on the table and said, this is bullshit. We're doing it this way. We're going to do it that way. I just don't think like he would think that way. Right. Now, Mike Malone, on the other hand, I think he's firing up to go, fuck that way. This is what we're doing. But I don't think that flies anymore. I just don't in the NBA. I think the GMs get the owner's ear, tell them what they want to hear. It's very easy to understand analytics because it's black and white. This is what the numbers say. You got to play this combo. You got to play that combo. And that makes sense to people. And then if you're the GM going, here's why we're losing. Because this, the coach doesn't play this lineup and he doesn't play that lineup. And this guy's not playing. That guy's not playing. But I think Kroenke got sick of both of them. At least that's what I read. Like, it's like, I'm just tired of both of you guys. Beat it. We're moving on. So I don't know. I miss the old school coach, though. The guy that had, like, authority of his team. Like, when we get on the court, we get on the field, this is my team. This is my team for 9 innings. This is my team 48 minutes. And we'll deal with stuff after. It's just not that way anymore.
And a lot of the coaches that you mentioned, like Kerr, Popovich, Spoelstra, Malone, all those guys have won championships before. All of them obviously have the rings. But then there's a guy like Don Nelson who didn't win a championship, but he also prided himself on turning bad teams into good teams. And I was just like wondering, from a player perspective, are there still sections of players that kind of gravitate towards those coaches more, who think, oh, he can kind of turn me into a better NBA player, as opposed to ones who are just kind of, I don't know, chasing championships with coaches that have pedigree?
I think players only want one thing. Maybe a couple. They want to play. They want a coach to be straight with them, and they want a guy who can put them in a position to succeed. Yeah. Like, you got to know what you're talking about, and you'll find out pretty quick if a coach knows what he's talking about or not. If he's read some Coaching for Dummies book where it's like, okay, if the season's going this way, make sure you say this, or this is a good inspirational quote, or that's a good inspirational quote. No, I'm going to find out when you start drawing up plays during timeouts, or if you put us in the right position defensively against a certain team, or we can find a way to attack the weakest link on a certain team. Like, you find that out pretty quick. But more than anything, they just want you to make them better because they want to play in the league. They want to make money in the league. It's a job, so they want to make as much money and play for as long as possible. And that's all they want. I mean, really. And then, being straight with a guy is great. Sometimes you go overboard with being straight. But at least you know where you stand. I mean, Nelly came to me one year, and it was my fault. I didn't work out during the offseason. I totally screwed that up. And I had 3 years or 4 years left of my contract. I think it was 3, maybe it was 4, not sure. And he sat me down after practice. He goes, I've been thinking. I go, okay. He goes, why don't I do us both a favor, and I'm going to let you be a free agent, and I'll just cut the contract. I'm like, well, being that I have 4 years guaranteed left, I'm going to say no. I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to, I'll work, and I'm going to try to get, I blew it in the off season, but I'm going to keep working and keep working. I was like, what do you think I got to do? Just give back money, like 4 years of money. Here you go. Gee, thanks. You did me a huge favor. I just gave back a lot of my future for and now I can go anywhere I want. And the fact that I'm not playing and not playing well, I should have a huge market out there. No, not going to happen. But I knew where I stood with him. It wasn't great. So I had to bust my ass to get back in the rotation somehow. But, he did a few things like that. Really, God, this guy's hard. He's harsh, overly harsh sometimes. But you knew where you stood. You'd rather have that than a coach tell you something and do another thing. You're like, I don't know where I stand with this guy. That's the one thing with Nelly. Whether you liked it or not, you always knew where you stood with him. And I respected that.
Getting off sports for a second. I know you back in the day, you always loved to talk about what shows you were watching. So what shows you watching lately, or any documentaries you've been looking at?
Oh God, what am I watching? I never remember shows
Yeah.
that I'm like, as soon as I get done watching them, and I'm trying to think, I just finished Bosch Legacy.
Okay.
Which is like the 9th season of that. It's a great show. I think Titus Welliver is the star. It's a crime drama. He's a cop in LA. Love that one. And I've been watching that for years and years. But this was like the last season. I don't know. It could be like a Kiss farewell tour. The last.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, fucking Gene. You said the last is like 2008. What are we doing here? We all know you love money, but I mean, shoot it straight,
seriously.
all right?
Yeah.
All right, buy your goddamn Kiss lunchbox when I was little. I think I was like, I mean, come on, just tell me if it's not your last tour. Tell me it's not your last tour. So watch that. I'm watching on Netflix right now. I'm watching The Hunt for Osama bin Laden.
Okay.
And
yes,
I watched what's the name of the show? It's on Netflix, and it's a Vietnam show.
Turning Point.
Yes, Turning Point. Thank you. I love that show.
I'm on both of those right
show.
now, Tom. I'm on your level right there, man.
Yeah. No, I watched the Cold War one twice. Like, it was so good. I watched it twice, and literally the second time I watched it was like less than 2 months after I watched it the first time, which is like amazing because it's like 9 episodes and it's in depth. There's so much info in that thing. I was like, I got to watch this again. I'm losing like all this information just seeping out. I got to go back and watch it again. So, and the first one was Turning Point 9/11.
Right.
But this one's really, the Vietnam one was really good. It's one of those things like the Cold War where you kind of know about it. Like, right, you learn about it in school a little bit. You're like, I kind of know about that. And you're watching, like, I didn't know shit about that. Like, it's some of the stuff that they talk about. The Vietnam one, it's very similar. It wasn't as long. I think it's 5 episodes compared to like 8 or 9, which the Cold War one was. But no, I love historical stuff. Historical stuff is right up my alley. I'm a huge fan of that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to think. I gotta go like by channels now, like right by streaming services. Like, okay, what did I watch on this? What's new on this? What did I get? I just watched Silo.
Okay.
On Apple TV.
Yeah.
Which I really like. There's one on Paramount that I just got. Reacher. Watch Reacher. It's so funny too because my mom loves the Reacher books. And my mom reads. My mom's a voracious reader. She read a book that was like 1,000 pages, and much like Turning Point, she read. Like when I watched Turning Point twice, she read this book twice. I'm like, you read a 1,000-page book twice? She goes, I loved it. She goes, it's incredible. But she just consumes these books at an unbelievable pace. So she loves the Reacher books. So I asked her when the movie came out, I go, what'd you think about Reacher when Tom Cruise was playing Reacher?
Yeah.
She's like, okay, he's like 5'8". Jack Reacher's big. Jack Reacher in the book's like a big dude. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So when Reacher came out on Prime, I'm like, oh, they go, that's Reacher right there. And I like it. I'm like, oh, I like Reacher. So I called her expecting like she would like it. And she's like, I don't really like him as an actor. I go, come on. You know what I think it is? I think she loved the book so much. And sometimes when you love a book that much, the adaptation doesn't translate onto screen. Like because you have everything in your mind. And that's the best thing about reading a book is everything is for you. Like no one's going to have the same experience you do when you're reading a book. So when you watch it on TV, right, that's the director's vision, or in the movie, that's the director's vision, or the producer, whatever. And it's not the same as yours, so it doesn't match up. So I was like, all right, I give up then. I'm trying to call you and say, hey, you should watch this. This is really good. And you're like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm like, okay, whatever. Just whatever. So, but those are some of the ones that I've been watching recently. But yes, I tell everybody, watch Turning Point. Like
Okay.
they're amazing, absolutely amazing. I would say the 9/11 one's the hardest one to watch just because it happened recently compared to World War II and Vietnam.
Right.
And that almost, that's before most of us were alive. I was really young during Vietnam, but I don't obviously remember it. And then World War II was way before I was born. So getting a chance to watch that and learn about that is pretty wild. 9/11 just like kind of hits you because you're like, oh shit, like I remember that. Like that was like, whew. So I remember being up in the bedroom, like waking up in the morning and somebody called me, I turned on the TV and first thing I saw was a smoking tower. I'm like, oh my gosh. So watching that was like more visceral than the other two. But the information you get and learning about it is, I mean, yeah, I mean, again, historical stuff is right at my alley. I love that stuff. Anything that's like really well done, that's historical, I'm down for that.
And you're getting both sides with the Vietnam War too.
Yes, absolutely.
And like I'm turning it on like right before we go to sleep, and my wife's like, "Are you watching a documentary about the Vietnam War?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got to go to bed, and this is what I'm going to go to sleep to." It doesn't really work. I mean, you kind of stay up thinking a little bit, processing what the hell you just watched.
Well, what I didn't realize, like the first thing I learned was that Ho Chi Minh, who kind of ran the North, and the South. I forgot who at the time was the president of the South. But they had an accord that, for whatever, I can't remember the exact particulars, but after a certain time frame, I think it was 2 years, they're going to vote to unify Korea, right? And whoever won, that you were going to be the president of Korea. Well, the South realized they had no chance. Like Ho Chi Minh was going to crush him. He was going to win the vote. They just said, "Fuck it, we're not voting, so we're not going to do it." So Ho Chi Minh just said, "Well, fuck that, then we're going to come in. We're going to make you guys vote, and we're just going to take over." I didn't realize at the time that the South, according to the documentary, started it by not we're reneging. We're not going to vote. You guys are going to win. Like, how good is that? Hey, you guys are going to win. We're not going to vote. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, what? And they just said, no. If you're not going to do that, we're going to do it our way. And that kind of started the whole thing. And you remember back in that time period, I just remember growing up, there was such hatred's the right word, but man, communism was just another thing. Like you just heard communism, right? And it's like, because that's the way everybody wanted you to feel. That's the way the government wanted you to feel. So anything communist was like, we got to fight that. So we're going to go over there because we don't want the North to get taken over by communists, because if they take over, then they can move over to this country and then that country and then this country. So we got to defend, South. It's just a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, just a disaster on all levels. And then you look at some of the tapes that they had that they kept in the White House that you're listening to. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
These guys knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Like they knew they were screwed from the get-go and kept on going and killing our own people. Like it just, so again, you get when you watch this why people distrust the government, because it's like, we never know when we're getting shot straight.
Yeah.
Are you shooting us straight? I think at this point, most people just feel like they're lying to us. Just like, okay, you're lying to us. We totally get it. Just don't make it too outrageous, but we totally get it. But when you hear it on tape, it's like, oh my God, this is actually new. It's like a what? So I encourage people to watch it just from a standpoint, like this is a huge part of American history. Not as big as a World War II. That's why that's 9 episodes, but it's a big one. It to me, I just feel like the more I can learn and kind of understand kind of where we are now, for the better. Maybe not. I don't know.
Taught me a lot about the state of journalism, that's for sure. The Dan Rather and Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
They were the only
totally
guys
different, huh?
telling the truth, and you're just
Dan Rather wasn't fucking going for clicks.
Not at all. Not at all. It's like now it's just, you never know what to believe.
Yeah. Brokaw's out there with some fucking naked chick in the background going, come on, baby, give me some clicks. It was crazy. But then again, what were your options? You had like three channels.
Yeah.
Right.
Now everybody's competing for eyeballs.
Yeah.
And they just got to do the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's hard because I do these things on Instagram occasionally, like live videos where I'm just like, hey, here's where we're coming on for the show. And then I'll just hit something for like 10 minutes that, piques my interest. Like I talked about Memorial Day yesterday, doing IG Live and the real meaning of Memorial Day, which is obviously the sales that they have 0% APR on monster trucks and all kinds of stuff. I think my favorite one was I said, I don't want to leave the girls out. They're having sales on dildos. You get a 9-incher for the price of a 6-inch, 3 free inches. So you're good to go there. So I got all kinds of sales for everybody. Right. And then the Yeti, I said the Yeti was on sale for $1,900 because they don't fucking do sales. You get a Yeti igloo cooler for almost $2,000. Those things are fucking expensive. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But let's say I'm doing that, and I'm thinking, Ogden and Max will keep, like here's how many people were watching it. Here's this, here's that. And I'm like, can you imagine? Like if I had a bra size 4 times bigger, like I could just hold it like this and just bounce, and all of a sudden, boom, I'd have like 10,000 viewers. Exactly. And not to say they don't have any talent. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm not sure. But I mean, it's just crazy what people like just are attracted to. Like I'm attracted to that too. Right? I get it. I understand it. Right. But I don't need your bets to go along with it. I don't need you bouncing around going, hey, fucking take the Pacers -2. I'm like, well, fucking shut up. Yeah. I wouldn't bet your money on your bets. You think I'm going to bet real money on someone who's half clothed telling me to take the Oilers -160 tonight, or telling me to take a same game parlay with McDavid 2.5 shots and Draisaitl with under 3 shots and fucking Sagan. Like, I mean, shut the fuck, go, just stop. Like, and for those lost souls that actually take that advice and bet on that advice, just do yourself a favor right now and stop wagering. Like, we're all going to lose. We all have lost. We all will lose. We accept that as gamblers. You're just going to lose a lot quicker. You're not going to have any fun with your money because you took same game parlay advice from somebody who's half clothed. And you said, this has got to be gold, when in essence, it's not gold at all. So I just try to keep it funny and keep it moving and keep it short. Like I said, brevity, no one ever gets upset with brevity. And I always tell that to people who speak at a wedding, speak at a funeral, and feel like, am I hitting the right notes? Am I hitting right this? I'm like, make it short. They're like, you sure? I'm like, no one. Who's the last person you know who came up to somebody who got on stage, spoke, and came off the stage, and somebody that came up to you goes, are you fucking kidding me? Only 2 minutes? Yeah. That's all you can come up with? Nobody has ever said that, because no one gives a shit what you're saying out in the audience. They just want you to be done quickly so they can go to the bar. That's it. Exactly. So just remember that. Brevity is your friend. No one's going to be upset with you when you're short. There it ends the sermon.
Or if they tied their tie knot correctly, then maybe that's where it'll be like, all right,
well, I'm fucked at that point. That's where I'm out of the game.
Yeah. Speaking of brevity, we'll keep it short here, Tom, and let you go into a few more questions. Just, okay. I know every September you go on your football trip with Bergie and the guys. Yep. You have everything planned? I know the NFL schedule's out, college football schedule. Yep. You have a place in mind?
Niners, Saints.
Okay, so you're going to New Orleans.
Yep. Saturday is going to be LSU, Florida.
Oh, nice.
And then Monday will be Buccaneers, Texans.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. And then we're not sure if we're going to hit maybe some baseball games in Houston, because I think the Astros are in town against the Rangers. Funny thing is, I've already been to I don't even know what they call it anymore, where the Astros play. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go somewhere that's new, but I've been there twice already. So I don't know what we're going to do. But we've never been to an SEC football game. We've always wanted to hit that. Okay. I'm hoping the LSU game's at night, because I really want to go to an LSU night game.
That'd be fun.
So LSU Saturday night, Saints Sunday, and Texans Monday. And then maybe get into LSU, or maybe get into New Orleans, maybe Thursday, and just kind of bounce around the city and just kind of see what's going on in New Orleans. But that's our trip this year.
Nice. And I know this time of year, I guess it's coming up in a couple weeks. You're still doing Pints for Paws and everything, correct?
I'm not doing it this year. It just kind of got lost in the and the cracks. So I'm going to try to go if I can. It's a huge event for Berkeley Humane Society. And that's one of the reasons, I wouldn't say one of the first reasons I hooked up with field work. Barry Braden, one of the owners there, is just very generous with the money they have and raising money for Berkeley Humane. He's a big believer in animal welfare and taking care of animals and finding shelters, no-kill shelters for cats, dogs, whatever the critter may be. And I mean, I was down with that. So when we did the Oktoberfest, we donated all our money to Berkeley Humane. And I think Pints for Paws does the same, but it's in that vein. So it's great beer. People bring their animals to the event all the time. Yeah, you see great pups running around and stuff. And then they donate money to a great cause. So anything that has to do with the betterment of animals and keeping animals alive and finding them homes, I'm always down for that. And then you add in the great beer part of it as well. Like I tell people, like, if you love animals, you love beer, and you haven't been to Pints for Paws, what are you waiting for? It's a great event.
No, definitely. And if Tom's there or not, you guys should all go. It's June 7th this year in Berkeley. And yeah, it's a great cause. And I've been the last 2 years. Great time out, great beer. You're helping animals. So go if you can. Tom, you're the man, dude. And I know that, you're doing YouTube now and I'm on the air now, but I wish it was under different circumstances. And I know you're happy now, but every day I miss you on the show, man. But thank you for doing this. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate it. Is Larry still watering those plants?
Yeah, but I don't know if you know this. In a couple of days, he's gonna have to water those plants at where are we going? Fucking Daly City in a couple of days.
Oh, you guys are actually going. You're going to Daly City.
We're going to Daly City on Thursday, and get this: the drive time show is the guinea pigs. We're gonna be the first show that has to flip on the switch. We've been told already by Andrew Stern and all the engineers that we may not be on the air that day.
What?
Exactly.
What are you, fucking Modesto Radio?
Yeah, no,
like, on fucking air that day.
No, like they don't know if we're gonna be live on the air when they flip the switch, and they told us it'd be best to have like probably an hour and a half an hour in the can of pre-recorded interviews. And I was like, it's a fucking live radio show. I don't know what you want us to do.
Why can't they test that out the day before?
Or test it out on a night show or, something else. But like, yeah, we have no idea if we're going to be on the air on Thursday. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But not surprising, Tom. Not surprising at all.
No. I mean, that's expected. Absolutely expected. Wow. Guys, so you guys trying to think how long we're at the old place where you're at now.
Yeah.
Because we're at a different place on 55 Hawthorne.
Right.
That was our first place when I worked with Ralph.
Yep.
And that was a great place because it was like a quarter mile from the freeway. It was like the best. Like boom, boom, on the freeway, you're off. And this place was cool too. I mean, it was a nice place. I mean, it was a lot better before they put us in a fucking tin can for a studio. I mean, that was the best part about working there, right? We had a beautiful studio, a couple of TVs, huge space, big room. And they were so fucking smart. They said, hey, let's move you to a fucking little tin can studio over here that's by the window. You'll really appreciate that. And we're going to use this for, well, nothing. We're not going to do anything with it. We're just going to let it sit there. So every time you get up to go to the bathroom, you can walk by it and you can reminisce about doing your show there and how much fun it was to have this big, luxurious studio that everyone really enjoyed. And let's outsmart ourselves and put everybody in the corner cubicle that was like half the size of this, which was one of the dumber moves. But I mean, look, it's not, if you put all the dumb moves into a fucking shoebox, you're not reaching in there and like only picking out two. It's full of paper and you're just like swirling around going, okay, what's this one? Cool. We got that one. Wow. So you guys are moving. So this will be the third place they've had. I hope for you that it's a nice studio and the commute isn't too bad and everything turns on. That's a good start, that everything turns on.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But after that, I hope everything goes well for you.
I appreciate you, man, and I'm glad that you got a little gift from KNBR. I see the cardboard cutout in the background.
You
there.
like that, huh?
I do.
Yeah, it just showed up here one day. I'm not even sure how it showed
It
up
just
here.
magically appeared, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, look at this. I have no idea how that got there, but I'll take it because I sat next to it for like 2 years at the studio. It was just like staring at me, and now we got what's funny because I'm like, I asked Ogden, I go, what are we gonna do with this? He goes, I don't know. You can put it behind you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need another one of me in the shot. Like, it's not like PTI where they have all the different cardboard heads, but it's not of them. It's of different people. Like, it'd be okay if it was different people, but it looks dumb when it's like you. Like, I don't need me and me in the same shot.
Right.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that.
It's the complete opposite of my dad, who would love to have more of him in the background.
Your dad loves your dad.
Yeah.
And he loves his fucking hats too.
Yes, he does.
Big fan. I don't know how many hats do you think he has?
You know, it's funny because did you see whenever he would come in studio, he'd have a stack of them like ready to go. It's like, that's insane.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, every segment, it was a different hat. I'm like, who are you, fucking Barbie? Like, we got a new outfit, like your beach outfit, your mountain outfit, your fucking scuba diving outfit. You're going to the zoo outfit. What are you doing today, Barbie? Going to space. Oh, fucking fantastic. I see you got your little helmet. Oh, look at you. What are you fighting in the fucking desert storm? And you fucking got fatigues on and fucking an AK-47. And oh, look at you. Fucking desert storm Barbie. You're fucking fantastic. Oh, look, it's Antarctica Barbie. You got all the fucking white and the oh, it's Safari Army. It's Safari Barbie. You know, that'd be great if your dad came in with that fucking like camouflage green hat that's folded up on this side and it comes down on this side. one of those fucking type deals. But they just like
the bill wouldn't be
like, where's that hat? The one that killed me too is when your dad wore the flat bill.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, who are you? Crisscross? I mean, if I can try to start a new fashion here, you wearing your jeans backward?
The first time I had to talk to Kyle when you left was I asked him straight up. I was like, so did you think it's weird every time you sit down for an interview and he's wearing the exact same clothes as you? And he was like, oh yeah, definitely.
What's up with that, man?
Yeah, the hats were wild.
Yeah,
the hats. I was like, I go, bro, you're older than me. What are we doing?
Yeah,
if I can do it. And the thing about the hat that I never understood is like nobody loves his hair more than your dad loves his hair.
Oh, I know.
You're covering up your hair. What are you doing?
Well, he has to.
Are we in like in a transition period here?
Well,
like, what happened here?
Well, he's got to cover up the days the dye's not setting in, Tom.
Oh, Derek.
It's just the truth. Watch the Giants post game show. You'll see him dripping all over Sean Estes' shoes. Come on.
Are you going fucking Greg Giuliani? Is that what you're fucking trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say? You're
like
fucking
George
trying
Clooney.
to get both of us in trouble.
Yeah,
George Clooney in the Broadway play.
Yeah, Clooney and the great call, Steve.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Tom, thank you so much, man. We wasted a bunch of your time, but thank you for doing this.
No worries.
Man.
Yeah,
no, I knew. Right. That's why I say 45 because then we can go an hour and 15. I feel okay about it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hey guys, anytime, give me a buzz. You get the number.
I appreciate you, man. Catch Tom's show all the time. The Tom Tolbert Show. It's all over YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Tom, thanks again, man.
See you, boys.
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you.
Yep.